Sometimes, as a first time buyer in Scotland, you'll want to arrange a property survey, and there's usually a home report there and it's already done for you. So you might find this a little bit unusual, but sometimes there could be something that flags up in the home report that means you need to get an enhanced survey. And in today's video, we're going to be looking through the types of surveys that you can look at and how you go about arranging them. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the different types of property survey. So I'm not going to go into detail on what a home report is. I've already covered that off in previous episodes. I'm going to go into the most common types of surveys that I come across working with first-time buyers and people buying property. The first type is a full building survey or a full structural survey that's done on a building, typically the most costly. And this goes into a lot more detail than what the home report does about the construction of the property, different things to do with the timber, the property build types. It goes into a lot of detail on things that could go wrong with the property or potentially things that are looking okay, and it's giving you that reassurance. The full building survey is something that can crop up from time to time when it's asked for on a home report. Something else that's cropping up is roof reports. So sometimes properties could show signs of leakage, or if there appears to be signs of damage that's been patched up. In the home report, the valuer will usually leave some comments to say that they're recommending that you're looking to get a specialist in to actually review that so that it doesn't cause further problems down the line. One further problem that it could cause, so let's say, for example, there's been foam insulation used in a loft. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes what it can do is it can erode away at the timber, and it could cause problems further down the line with that. So getting that report done early in the process will allow you to see how much damage is there, how much it's going to cost to fix it, and is it worthwhile paying that money to get that done. And what that could do is, if it's a property that you really like, it could be a relatively low upfront cost to avoid a larger cost further down the line. There's other things like damp surveys that some home reports will specify, and sometimes this is just when they've found some dampness in the properties. But that's the kind of most common types: the building survey, full structural survey, then the roof survey, the damp survey, and then the timber survey as well. What you're looking at to get these things done is a surveyor. Now, there's lots of great surveyors out there. Typically, you'll find the companies that are doing the home reports are also able to do the full building surveys. And there's lots of really, really good ones out there. Typically speaking, I will find out where the client is. If they're looking for a further survey to get done in a property, we'll find out where they are, check out who the local surveyor is, check their reviews if I've worked with them before, and I can pass their details on to the clients. Sometimes what could happen, the lender could also instruct a survey. Obviously, this is at the cost of the client, but the lender can instruct a survey and they can send someone out that could pick up on things as well. I actually had a case fairly recently where the lender saw the home report. The home report recommended that a specialist went out to see the property. It was the builder, it was the lender who actually sent someone out and covered the cost of it, which is unusual. But when they went out there, they says that it wasn't suitable security for them. And these kind of things can happen. But I can always point you in the right direction of who it is that you're looking for. And how you arrange that is just by getting in contact with these firms. So you can either get in contact with the firms directly, I can put you in touch with them, or even your bank can arrange the survey as well. And what would happen once that survey is booked in, they would arrange to go out to the property, walk around the property, and put together a report on it. And that report would detail the ins and outs of what's going on there. Now, just let's put this into perspective. If you've got the home report, that's giving you a brief overview of everything that's going on. The survey is an in-depth report that you're going to be receiving. This is different from what the lender will see. Sometimes the lender will, even though the home report could be 40, 50 pages long, the lender will only ask for 2 pages of that to be sent back to them. So the actual full survey goes into a lot more detail than that. And once that's been completed, they'll send that back to you to review, and they can also help you understand everything on it, and they can talk you through the issues that might arise on the home report, and they can put into practice, and they can help you out by getting professionals in that could fix these issues before they become real major issues, and help you fix them and get that done. What this can also do is can give you an insight. So you might be by like an old converted church, for example, which is quite often I see that here in the west of Scotland. There's lots of lovely buildings out there that are getting converted, and a lot of these older style buildings, the valuers are recommending all of these extra reports to get done on them, just to make sure that when you buy it, you're walking in with your eyes open and you know the cost of getting it back up to a reasonable standard.